For example, we went for one program, and that's one of when we started then, and 25 orchestra members went for a program. It was so powerful. And at the end of the program, we did not even see the organizer again. And Usher just came to with us and then gave us a very, very white envelope. Looking at all we have spent on transport, on logistics, and even guys, that went to play. So thank God I opened the envelope at that very, 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 very place, and I opened it, and to the glory of God, I saw 1,000 naira in the envelope for 25 orchestra members.
Very good. Welcome to the Melody Maker Show. My name is Miss Lisa, your host for this exciting episode titled My Music and I. And with me here today is an exceptional leader, a musical director, an orchestral director, and orchestral leader. So it's going to tell you more about his musical journey. Welcome, sir. Nice to meet you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Welcome,
So,
our listeners.
could you start by introducing yourself?
All right, my name is Daramola Taiye. I am a child of God. Let me start from there. Grew up in a Christian home, and I think that's where I got my music background. Yes, way back primary four, I think that was where I started, when my dad took us to a music school. And then gradually we started learning how to play musical instruments, and to the glory of God, here we are today.
Well, not all parents allow their children to, go into music like that.
Exactly.
I feel like it's a waste. You understand?
Especially during our own time. It
Wow.
looks like you are wasting your time. If you are
Exactly.
not a medical doctor, you are not a lawyer, you are not an engineer,
Exactly. You're not
you are not doing
successful like
anything.
that.
Exactly.
Thank you. So, could you please share how your musical journey began? Like, tell us more.
Yes, it's actually a long journey, exciting, challenging, and so on. I'm just trying to summarize everything, because I always love to say this, because it's always inspiring, especially to people that want to tread this path that I'm actually into today. Like I said, I started playing musical instruments, and then it got to a time I realized that I began to pick up leadership roles. Right from campus days, I was a music director in campus. I was the music director even in church, another group like that. And I started bringing people together, instrumentalists together, and so on. Then I was working with one of the prestigious telecommunication company in Nigeria then.
Oh,
But
nice.
the nudge has been there, the calling has been there, that this is not where you belong. You're supposed to be doing something instrumental. My pastor called me one day. I can't forget that. I was in Lagos, and he told me, "What are you doing in Lagos?" I said, "I was working in the company." He said, "That's not where you belong. You need to have a music band." I was like, this pastor just want me to come back to town and, be used for his church and so on. But to the glory of God, as God will have it, even though it looks like a disappointment, we were laid off in the telecommunication company, and then that gives me the time and the opportunity to be able to harness my music knowledge. Started training people. I have a music school. I started training people on how to play musical instruments. Then gradually, we will normally have some time, we gather people together, instrumentalists together, then for them to come and play together in a program, just like casual program. Then one program was very striking, and that was the program we had at University of Ilorin. We had their carol service, and we went with some instrumentalists. And after the program, the MC came to meet me on the stage, that we want to appreciate the instrumentalists. That was the name of the group that just finished performing now. And I couldn't tell the MC that we don't have a name.
Okay.
So I don't know where it came from. I just said His Praise Orchestra. And then they went to the stage and just announced, we want to appreciate His Praise Orchestra for a very wonderful performance. And they were like, oh, God, what's happening, Well, thank God, I think that was what birthed the orchestra group that we have today. Yes, and to the glory of God, we are doing very, very, we are like 7 years now. I think we started way back, but at least to the glory of God, we are doing very, very fine.
That's nice.
Yeah, thank
You know,
you.
when God calls you to do something, you can't escape it at
Sure,
all.
sure.
So, What's some of the biggest challenges you faced so far, and how have you overcome them?
It's very challenging, actually. The kind of ministry that I am in is very, very challenging. They do say that between animal and human being are most difficult to guide. Even animals are very difficult. I mean, very quite easy to
I
guide.
think I've heard that saying before.
But between human being and human being, instrumentalists are most difficult to direct. What do I mean by that? These are people that believe that they know it all. These are people that believe that they have options. These are people that believe that if you not pay me well in this church, I will move to another place. Now asking them to come around, asking them to, be as a group member. They have their names themselves. They also go out for programs, for shows, for birthday surprises, and so on. Now asking them to now come as one, bringing all their skills and everything, putting it together is always actually a challenge. But when I got to that, I remember when we started, I was scouting for the best of the best. I was scouting for people that are good and so on. They frustrate my life. Let me just give one example. It's a very, very funny example. The keyboard is then. The guy will say, you don't have transport fare. I said, okay, no problem. Just come, I will pay your transport fare. So he got to the rehearsal that day and he said, you need transport fare. And I said, okay, I have 1,000 naira in my hand and I don't have change. How are we going to change this money? He said, don't worry, bring the money. I have change. I will give you change. So that tells me that it's not as if he doesn't have the money, but it just felt like I don't need to spend my money to come around. So I went back to God, and what God gave me was the story of Moses. When Moses got to the Red Sea, and he needed to make the children of Israel pass through the Red Sea, and he said they couldn't go. And God asked him, what do you have in your hands? And he said he has a rod. And he said, yes, it's that same rod that we're going to use to lead the children of Israel across the Red Sea. And he asked me that singular question, what do you have in your hand? I said, I have music. He said, is that same music that is going to use to scale you through this challenge? Then another thing was the story of David. David was in the wilderness because Saul was actually after his life. And the Bible said that David went to pick barbarians. That was how the Bible call it. Barbarians are touts, no future ambition people. He brought them together and he made an army for himself. I think 400 army. He made an army for himself. And that was those people that were able to help him fight his battle even during the period of Saul.
Yeah.
It was those same set of people that went to get David water when he was thirsty. So God just told me, they don't start looking for the best. Start looking for the available, those people you can work together with, you can groom together. So I started picking people that I know that, okay, we have tendency, they have the passion to learn more and to know more. And then to the glory of God, we started, it looked like a joke. We are like 15 then. To the glory of God, we can be counting around 50 or 60 now if we want to count our members even outside. Because some of them will come to school, they will graduate, but they are still part of us. And then anytime we're having a program, they all come together and we play together.
Wow, that's a really great story. Like, I have no
Thank
words
you.
to say. So, this how do you choose this your piece to play? Like, how do you perform? Do you have a particular style or genre you follow? Because I've listened to some of your songs. Like, it's just so out of this world. Like, I don't even, I can't put it. Like, what genre do you follow?
Okay. Most times, orchestra playing is always attached to the classical world. That's where orchestra came from actually during the acoustic period. I don't want to go into history now, but most times people normally see instrumentalists as people that plays hymns or people that plays classical.
Yeah,
Yes,
that's
and
my thought too.
I just felt I want to stand out. I want to make sure this group stand out from the usual. So I asked myself the question one day that can't orchestra play traditional? Can we use the Western music to actually do some other things that is not the normal? So it was very challenging having to pick a normal, maybe praise song or a normal traditional song and so on to now create something out of it that is not the normal. Like you imagine the violinist playing a traditional piece. Normally, it's not wired for that because
Yeah.
it's a Western musical instrument. Yes, so I sat down with it, and with God's help, I discovered that we started creating some music and it started making sense. Because orchestral music is very, very difficult because you have to consider what violin will be playing and will not affect flute, will not affect the trumpet, will not affect you have to think about the chord the instrumentalist will be playing and so on. So, but with God, it says something when God is on your side, when God is in what you are doing, it makes it very, very easy. And I think that's just, an epitome of grace because normally we are not supposed to be where we are today, but with God's grace and mercy, thank God we are here today.
That's nice.
So to answer the question, we play all genre of music. We play the traditional, we play the contemporary, we play the even high life. We play anything. We just try and manipulate those instruments to create music out of any kind of song we have.
Good. That's why you're able to get different audience.
Yes,
Wow,
thank you. Yes, exactly.
That's nice.
Exactly.
Okay, so how do you make everyone work together? Because everyone they're from different perspective areas, tradition, culture, different things.
With denomination.
Coming together, yeah, exactly. How do you make them work together?
All right. Yes, we see ourselves in the group as family. There's no rivalry between you saying that I'm for this, my denomination is this. We make sure that we are always as one. No segregation. And I think one of the selling factor that I have during in the group is just that I make sure that there's this kind of love and unity among us. You cannot come and say you are better off. You cannot come and say you have been playing for the past 50 years. You cannot come and say you have been playing for the past. Even the first newcomer, the person that is coming newly, has every right that every other person have. So I make sure that unity, that oneness, and then when you are coming, you leave your coat of many colors of I've been playing for the past 30 years outside. You come and submit to what we have to play. We normally have a slogan, one band, one sound. And that means that it's not about your sound. So you should not sound higher or better than another person. You should be able to sound together and make good music together.
That way you work in harmony.
Yes, I'm harmony. Yes.
That's nice. So, what's your memorable performance like? Do you have performance you love the most? A project you've done so far that you love the most?
Okay.
Yeah.
Memorable performance to me is I can say is our annual concert. That has always been a very, very challenging now, and a very, very big project that we normally run every year. And every year I keep thinking, how will it go this year? And I've always made up my mind that I don't want to have a better concert, maybe a previous concert. So we have to think of how do we make some innovations into it and so on. So sitting back and looking at the concert, and you just keep asking yourself that, guy, are you not the one that organized this? Sometimes you just pull yourself out of the concert and look at it and I feel proud of myself, to the glory of God, that such a thing like this can host. Now we are in the city of Ilorin, Kwara State, and if you know, this city is always known to be like one of the quiet, boring cities. And then people will ask the question, where is this from? Are you from Lagos? Are you from Abuja, Port Harcourt? And say Ilorin. So it's not always like what people expect, the happening places like Lagos and so on. But to the glory of God, at least we are reaching out. We are trying to make sure that our music is not just to play. We are looking at the sound. We are looking at the quality, gadget, and so on. It's always a lot put into that program. And to the glory of God, God has helped us thus far. We are going to be having the 5th edition, the 6th edition, yes, this year. Yes, 2025. Yes, thank
That's
you.
nice. Thank you. Seriously, I thought you're from like you based in Lagos normally. You know this
Uh,
Lekki side. You get.
uh, we are from Ilorin. Ilorin.
Oh, that's
Anyway,
nice.
although we go around the country, we go around
Yeah, I've seen a lot of
Lagos,
your works.
Abuja.
Like
Yes, yes. But
it's
Ilorin is
nice.
our base actually.
So, how do you ensure your performances connect to different audience of different backgrounds, of different tastes? You
Okay.
understand?
Yes, whenever you call us for a program, we actually look at the audience that we are going to meet there. Let me just give an example. If you are going to a CAC, you can't prepare the same thing you are preparing for churches like Celebration Church, Harvesters Church, and so on. You need to look at the audience you are going there to meet, and that will
Yes.
determine what kind of music you are going to play. You understand? We've been in the church before, and then we started playing, and it just looked like they're just looking at us on the stage. That what are they playing? You understand? So we read the atmosphere, and I immediately told my guys, okay, let's go back to traditional. And then you can imagine everybody stood up, start dancing. So you need to understand your audience and what they actually want. So the good thing about us is that we have the luxury of music that we can pick from the worship, the contemporary, the praise, the traditional, and so on. So we look at that to determine what we're actually going to play for in any program we're going for.
How do you incorporate modern trends into traditional orchestral music? How do you mix it up together? How do you balance it out together?
The good thing about it that even if
Yeah.
it's traditional music, you still have the modern trend in it. Yes, we still make use of the basic instrument, which are the drums, the keyboard, the guitar, and so on. So it's not as if what I'm trying to say is that even though it's a traditional song, a modern kind of person that loves modern song will still enjoy it because it still has that undertone of modernization in it. So even though we're actually playing traditional, we still have those modern feel. We still have those modern qualities and kind of rhythm that is attached to that kind of song. Yes,
That's nice.
yes.
So, what advice will you give to young musicians and musical directors that want to mark their field?
Okay. I just want to say this that it depends on what you want to achieve.
Okay.
There's when I do tell my member there's one between being an instrumentalist and being a music minister. If you want to be an instrumentalist, just learn your skills very well. Make sure you learn your keys. Keyboardists stop transposing and so on. The keyboardists will be laughing at home now, I'm sure, because that's their you understand. So if you want to be an instrumentalist, my advice for you, learn your skills well, go and listen to all this Western jazz player and so on, and you'll be good. But if you want to be a music minister, there's more to it. Aside from the fact that you're actually good in your instruments, one major person in the Bible was David to me. Because the question I keep asking myself, what was in the music of David that made that evil spirit in Saul to leave? That tells me that David was not just an instrumentalist. David was a music minister. He can minister to Saul, and the evil spirit of Saul will have to excuse him for that
For that period.
period. Yes. So if you want to be a music minister, there's a lot of sacrifice into it. If I want to be a music minister, it shouldn't be money focused. You understand? Bible says, "Seek ye first the kingdom of God, and all other things will be added
Shall be
unto you."
added unto you.
You understand? Because most of the time, the slogan of instrumentalists is, "How much would they pay?" You understand? I'm not trying to say now that we're not supposed to be paid. That's a story for another day because that's a very, very controversial issue that I don't want to go into it in here now. But the fact remains that you should see yourself as a mouthpiece of God. You see yourself as somebody that you're just going to deliver God's mind to people through music. So it goes beyond just knowing how to play your instrument. Now I made up my mind that God, I want to serve you in this capacity. I'm not coming in here for business. I want to come and serve you. So most times I enter into the work with service mentality. And although it's very tough, for example, we went for one program and that's when we started then, and the 25 orchestra members went for a program. It was so powerful. I had to charter a bus and so on. We went there, massively played. People enjoyed it. And people danced. And at the end of the program, we did not even see the organizer again. And Usher just came to with us and then gave us a very, very white envelope. I'm still seeing that envelope now. A white envelope. And I called my guys, hello, we thank God for the ministration of today. They appreciated us with this envelope. When I saw it was light, so I thought it was a check. I was okay, maybe there's a check. I was thinking that maybe on Monday you have to go to bank and go and catch the money. Looking at all we have spent on transport, on logistics, and even guys, that went to play. So thank God I opened the envelope at that very, 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 very place, and I opened it, and to the glory of God, I saw 1,000 naira in the envelope for 25 orchestra members.
Very good.
Yes, yes.
Wow,
If one is not careful, you might want to look at it that this is the reward of what you have played. And I thank God for my group members. We laughed. We laughed that day. We laughed and laughed. It was so annoying. Let me just say that, but we actually laughed, and then we talked to ourselves that this is not what we want. You understand? This is not what we want. And I challenged them, and especially myself. I went back to sit down, and God told me that, do you want to get paid on this job, or do you want me to pay you?
Wow.
And I told God,
Yes.
God, I want you to pay me. And I want to let you know that we have seen some supernatural work of God, even in this group. Supernatural work of God that shows that beyond what man can pay you, God can pay you more than that. So I want to advise that if you are going into this, number one, have that God mentality. Know that anything you are going to do, you are going to minister. God now knows how to now bring you up and even announce you even to your world, and then other things will follow, definitely. Yes.
Thank you. That means if you want to go out to play now, we should not just put our mind on this is the amount they should pay me and all. If not, you can just be disappointed on that.
Yes, that's
Yes.
that's what I'm saying. If you're a minister, the major thing is that we're people blessed. You understand? But although that doesn't negate the fact that ministers too are human beings. You understand? They have bills to pay, they fuel their cars, and so on. So because at some point I discovered that churches are beginning to look at it from the mindset that we are serving God and we want to appreciate you and so on. But please and please, if I'm reaching out to churches and pastors today, we should not take ministers for granted. Some of them are living on this. Some of them are living their life on this path like this. They might not want to ask you because it's God's work, but please, I think it's just good for churches to also appreciate them. Music is not a small task. You understand? Pastors in the church preach, musicians make music, but I want to let you know that sometimes we musicians, we sit down rehearsing than what pastor will sit down to put the Bible together. You understand? And that doesn't mean that pastor's work is not relevant, but I'm just trying to say that they need to be appreciated. You understand? So that is it.
Wow, thank you. So, how do you see your orchestra in the next 10 to 5 to 10 years? Let's say.
Okay, my dream in the next 5 to 10 years, I see this orchestra diversified. What do I mean by that? We are still working together. I see the orchestra moving to different realm and sphere of music genre of songs. You know, we have the people that love the traditional, we have the people that love the worship, the contemporary, and so on. So I'm seeing us have more defined specification in our dealings and so on. Also, I see us having branches around because most times some people call us from different parts of the country and it look like the logistics alone is a lot.
A lot.
Having to go down to different states. Although for now we are in Lagos, we have a branch in Lagos, we have a branch in Ado-Ekiti. For now, those are the places we have. So I see us having other branches so that it will be easier for us to deploy those that are in the north, those in the east, those in the west to actually go for some programs that we might not be able to go for because of distance. So I trust God, and I see us actually flying around the world to minister because it's not only Nigerians that needs this music. The world actually need the music.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much. I believe the viewers are highly blessed, and I'm blessed also, and I gained a lot.
Thank
So,
you.
if want to contact you, how can we get through you? Like, do you minister? Like, where do you minister?
Yes, HP Orchestra goes around ministering. Anywhere the praise of God is, we actually there. We are strictly gospel ministers.
Okay.
So in any place where you have God's praise, that's why we have our name is Praise Orchestra. For short, HP Orchestra. You understand? So you can reach us on our handle at HP Orchestra, on our YouTube page. Everything's at HP Orchestra. So you can contact us, and definitely we will attend to. So we go for programs, we go for wedding ceremony, we go for even burial ceremony, we go for birthday programs and so on. Once it's God's grace, yes, we'll be there for concerts and so on.
Okay, so not on secular
No,
music.
no.
Okay, just
Strictly
strictly.
gospel
So the
music.
audience, strictly gospel. You understand? Strictly gospel. Thank you very much.
Thank
I'm
you.
really grateful for having you here.
you.
I would like you to give a shout out to the viewers and HP family over there. Please.
Okay. Hello, family. I want to appreciate everyone for the consistent followership. Thank you for your nice comments. Thank you for your encouragement. And we want to say that expect more from us this new year. And the sky is just the beginning. Yes. Thank you very much. God bless you.
Thank you very much, sir.
Yes,
Thank you,
you.
sir.
You're
Yeah.
welcome.